It's got plenty of space, and I get it's not the same as what you've known, but welcome home, you'll be okay. You've been attached to material things, but that's not the joy that life brings. You've got your family and your friends, and in the end that's all you need, you will see. So in with the new, and hugs to the old. Things aren't quite as black and white as what you've been told, 'cause you won't forget, but you can move on. Maybe just sit down and write a song.
At Las Positas College, we provide our students with a well-rounded education, whether you're just beginning your pursuits or already committed to a lifelong career in the arts. We provide a rigorous, creative, and fun learning environment that prepares students for real-world expectations in the performing arts, as well as four-year performing programs.
I became really inspired to become more involved with the arts here.
Each production and class gives you a chance to build skills in different styles of theater.
The Theater Arts Department offers students training in acting, musical theater, technical theater, and theater theory. The program is designed to provide knowledge and practical experience in a hands-on and personal way, both in performance and technical theater classes.
Every aspect of the theater program is treated with such a level of professionalism, and it makes me feel like I'm really preparing myself for my future.
We are proud every year of our multiple main stage productions, theater for young audiences, and student directing and design opportunities. The music department strives to offer the highest quality professional education in a variety of music disciplines and career pathways, and expose students to a variety of approaches to music making through the latest technology, equipment, research, and performance practice.
I think a lot of people don't realize the amount of opportunity at a building like this, at a facility with state-of-the-art everything.
Dance classes at LPC are offered in a state-of-the-art studio. From introduction to dance, ballet, and jazz, to salsa and ballroom, our offerings provide learning opportunities to the novice and experienced dancer alike.
I definitely feel like I've grown a lot being part of the arts program at Las Positas. And all of the instructors here have helped me grow not only as an actor, but as a singer and a dancer as well.
Communication Studies offers classes that prepare students for transfer and careers, such as teaching, public relations, and law. The nationally award-winning competitive forensics team, the Talkhawks, has achieved outstanding recognition and support, traveling nationally and internationally. A team and a class rolled into one. Our facilities at Las Positas are world-class. The Murtis Center for the Arts features a main stage theater, a keyboard and music technology lab, a black box theater, a dance and rehearsal room, private practice rooms, a dedicated costume and scene shop, and an outdoor amphitheater.
The faculty here at Las Positas Performing Arts Center are so compassionate and helpful. I learned something new and different from each of the professors.
It just feels like you're part of a family, which makes learning and growing a lot more fun.
At Las Positas College, you will foster lifelong friendships and partnerships with others who are passionate about their craft, while exploring who you are as an artist. See you soon.
Don't worry, everybody. I'm here. Honest, I am. I promise you. I have so many buttons to push. Hello, Pleasanton. This is the behind-the-scenes look at Pleasanton. Oh, look at that. Titian is in our is in the Firehouse. Oh, it's all just working out swimmingly, isn't it? It's just wonderful. Hello, I'm back. I'm here. Look at that. This is what happens when you have a holiday between Pleasanton Lives. Welcome behind the scenes of Pleasanton Live, everyone. I'm Mark Duncanson. It's Thursday night. It's time for Pleasanton Live. We're back from Thanksgiving. I hope everyone had restful times. I hope you had restful, sheltered-in-place times. Yeah, you just saw a promo video for Las Positas College, and a little later on, we're going to welcome our guest on to talk more about theater arts at Las Positas College. I want to make sure that you know, coming up this weekend is the Pleasanton virtual hometown holiday celebration and tree lighting. For obvious reasons, we are not doing a parade this year, but we are bringing you a retrospective of certain moments during the parade's past. I will be your host on TV 30, 7 o'clock this Saturday. I will be your host on TV 30, along with my co-host, Tobin Costin. My man Tobin is back at the parade, so make sure to tune in to go on the TV 30's website, and I have that information in the video right here that you guys can go and check it out this Saturday, 7 o'clock. Make sure to make some cocoa, some fun little holiday treats, okay? Have a good time with it. Also, next Friday, the 11th of December. I can't believe I'm coming to you December 11th, like December already. Creatures of Impulse has our annual holiday-themed improv show, virtually, of course, live stream on Zoom. Holiday shorts, A Long Winter's Tale. They're going to take you to some improv games and scenes, and then you're going to vote on which scene or game gets turned into a long-form play, holiday play, at the end of the show. And you can go to firehousearts.org/COI to get tickets for that, to be in the Zoom room so you can make suggestions and watch us in Zoom. It's a fun way to do Zoom, okay? It's not like a regular meeting, so take it easy. I know what you're thinking. I don't want to do Zoom. You do want to, because it's going to be great. And there's so many shows that you saw on Netflix. There's nothing else to watch. So be here. Go there and then get the tickets, okay? So I was talking about my guest. Cool peeps. I'm going to tell you right now. Cool peeps. Like, you're going to understand it after we start talking. But most recently did a lot of work with her last year, actually, in getting Pleasanton Youth Theater Company a partner. We partnered with their CTE program to get some sets built and give some students an opportunity to learn doing set building at Las Positas College, but also gives me some experience in figuring out what the heck that means. And they've been such a great partner with us even before this. But I'd like to welcome the Artistic Director, Theater Arts at Las Positas College. Please welcome Titian Lish, everybody. Titian, get over here. Hello.
Hello.
Did you like my little, that was like the first major foul up. I was like, what happened? Like, I don't know if you saw the video where I was like, I still have on my green screen.
Yeah.
Fancy. I'm a fancy guy. By the way, you can follow Las Positas Performing Arts on Facebook, and you can find that video on their Facebook page.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, you can find us.
It's going to be...
Our Facebook's Las Positas Theater Nerds.
I love that. And that is also in the information of our video.
Awesome. Yeah.
Theater. I'm glad that people are I'm glad you're embracing that. I'm a theater nerd.
It's who we are. Let's be honest.
Give me a break. That's it. When Pasek and Paul won the Oscar, they won an Oscar.
Yeah.
They were like, we're theater nerds. Yeah. This is all for all the theater nerds, this win.
Yeah.
So, I have to say, the first time, I think I was sharing this with you earlier, the first time you came into my consciousness, one of our staff, many, many years ago, for an interview question, we asked who has affected their theater arts world, who's made them want to do what they do. And one of our past staff, Salim Razawi, totally mentioned you when you were at Tracy High School, I believe.
That's where I met him. That was my gig before I was at Las Positas. I was a teacher at Tracy High, and Salim was one of my students, and he was so sweet and so kind and
great.
Quiet and not quiet, but not rowdy, but he was great. He was so great to work with. I loved it.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
He is.
And since have had so many people on staff that have been affected by you and your work. Which is really fantastic. Like, it's one of those deals where before I met you, I was like, oh, Titian, I've heard of her. You're hired.
With resentment.
So
you've taken the question off the quiz.
Right, that's it. There's no more. We get it. Everyone knows Titian. Everyone loves her. That's enough. No.
Ridiculous. It's not true.
That's another show. We'll find out more later. But before we get into the meat and potatoes of what you're doing at Las Positas, I have to know what you ate for Thanksgiving dinner. Was it traditional? Did you have some non-traditional? What did you eat? What did you have?
You know, we did pretty traditional, partly because it was really last minute. So we were big, like, we were really going to do it. And we were just going to kind of do our own thing. I think last year we did Chinese food, and like we did like a Taco Tuesday kind of thing one year. Like we just are a little over the food because honestly, it just feels like a lot of beige food for me. And I don't really like it.
It is. Thanksgiving is a lot of beige food.
It's beige. I don't know. So yeah, we weren't going to do it. And then my mother-in-law, who's been sort of a part of our bubble this whole time, she was going to come and be with us. And so she lives here in town. And but she was coming over, and I was like, oh, okay, well, we'll do like a traditional one. And then I lazed out. I did. I like went and I was like, I don't want to cook like a whole turkey. So I cooked like a breast. And then
That's
I
the
was
way
like,
to do it.
I don't want to make mashed potatoes. So we made like a soup, and I was like, here's your vegetables. Like, we're leaving. Like, we're done. So like,
I am so glad that you said that, like, that Thanksgiving dinner is like beige, because I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
I think that's the only reason cranberry sauce made it into the mix.
Sir, I have made that argument for many years now.
Is that right?
It's got to be the only way.
Yeah, the cranberry's like, yeah, look at all this.
People are like, this is weird. It all blends. If you were colorblind, how would you know what you were eating? It all looks the same.
You're right. Can you pass the bread? Oh, wait, that's the turkey.
Who knows?
No.
It's all beige food. It's just beige.
So when I started really working with Las Positas and kind of collaborating, I became part of an advisory board there, and learned a lot more about what you guys do at Las Positas. And while sitting in my first advisory board meeting, my brain started firing off on ways we could partner and help each other out, because it is wonderful to have a community college in our district, in like right next door in Livermore, from where we are, and I happen to live in Livermore as well. But also, it's excellent to have people of your caliber.
Thank you.
That are that help complement the fantastic facility you guys have. But the meat of the work that is done there is you guys, is the staff, and so it's wonderful to meet you guys.
Thank you. Yeah, we have great staff. I mean, honestly, not just like in our own department, but we have Las Vegas has incredible staff, incredible teachers, like delightful human admins, which is rare in academia. So we're so lucky, and I mean, there's a reason we're like one of the top transfer institutions and top community colleges in the state, and it's just like right here. And
I hope that I hope and I work to make sure people know how great that it is, because in an area that I was actually going to ask you if you had a dog. No,
I have two. I know. I'm sorry. I try and keep them out, but I have a little 5-pound dog, and he thinks he's in charge of everything. And like, no matter what you do, that dog has his own agenda every day.
Oh, that's great.
Every day.
No, I don't say that to embarrass you. I love animals, and I'm like, yes, I love when animals make it into a Zoom. I love it.
Wow, give it time. He'll be here in a second.
Bring him in. He's like, who are you talking to? Pick me up. Let me talk to them.
Exactly. Where's my bow tie? Where's my bow tie?
but one of the things I'm saying is, like, we are living and working in an area that is highly academic and highly successfully academic, especially in high schools, surrounding high schools. And there's still a stigma attached to community college.
I know.
And there's great. That's where I came from, so I'm biased. But also I believe they're letting great opportunities to get an excellent education locally, and put a little more money in your pocket.
For sure.
Save up for something, but also you're getting an excellent education. I've seen not only the students that are coming out of Las Positas, I've seen the work that's coming out of there as well. And I don't want that to pass people by.
Yeah.
So tell us about what I don't even know where to start. There's so much.
So
like, let's talk about what you have coming up, like coming up in the next semester.
Okay, so next semester in spring, we are still in this COVID situation. You might be familiar with it. Here we are,
Little.
In the strangest period of our lives. So we are building our spring schedule or semester kind of as it relates to production right now. So we have traditional things you can do, like acting classes, a dialect class. We have an analysis class if like you're kind of into dramaturgy and you like reading texts and sussing them out and talking about it and having all your feelings and opinions validated. That's the class for you.
Oh, please. Actors, that's the class for me.
It's our bread and butter. We have an intro to design class if you're more artistic and you like to sketch and research and design costumes or sets or interiors or props. We have a class for that. And then our classes that are related to production. We have two production kind of cohorts that are going to be happening over the spring. And we made the decision this year to pick two sections that we would be focusing on that we are opening up. So normally what we do for our productions is like anyone would do, right? Like any company we would do. We would have auditions or we'd have general auditions and we would cast you in a show for a specific role. And we really felt like with what was happening with the pandemic and people were really losing a sense of community and they were longing to look at different people and different walls and you just need something different right now. We really wanted to make those classes open to anyone. So we made the decision not to choose productions that were audition based, that we were just going to open our doors and welcome everybody to come and be somewhere where it feels positive and loving and creative. And I think we all need that right now. And so one of those productions is focused on theater for young audiences. So we'll be writing, we actually commissioned a playwright named Stephanie Norberg, who lives in Chicago, but since it's Zoom, right, she can kind of phone it in from there, which is great. And she's going to work with us. We're writing an original piece of theater for young audiences. And the kick that we're super excited about, it is a choose your own adventure, not trademark, not the book, right? We're not using the books, but like, I don't have another way to explain it because everyone knows. Esque. Oh my God. Write that down. Email me that afterwards. So choose your own adventure-esque experience. And so audiences will engage together. And so we'll perform part of the show and then we'll sort of stop it. And then they get to pick what the next thing is. And we'll have sort of a selection of directionalities for scenes that we can do. And if everyone sort of says track A, then like, and that's the one the audience votes on digitally, then that's the next scene we'll perform. So every single time we perform it, it will be totally different, dependent on the sense of community that our audience brings. And I think audiences are missing community. And so we're trying to find a way to make them feel like they're a part of this immersive experience. So that's that production, which I'm super excited about.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, I'm directing that. I think it's going to be such a ball. And then our other production is being directed by the incomparable Diane McBride, which if you guys don't know Diane, you should. She is bonkers talented, incredibly successful in the Bay Area, and she's just got this consummate career. We're so lucky to have her, and she is directing that one. And that production is class is going to actually be divided into 3 productions that will be smaller in length, so closer to 1 act, so anywhere between 20, 30, 40 minutes long. And we have different styles set up for that. So we're going to do some that will be, 2 of the styles are still being defined, so we haven't quite worked those out yet. One of them is going to be a suspense style, kind of along the lines of Sorry, Wrong Number, maybe a little film noir-y. And then the one we're super excited about is going to have is going to be puppet theater. But sorry, sweet children, it'll be puppet theater, kind of more for mature audiences. So it'll be me. That's right. The adults need something, and so yeah, we're gonna do something funny and ridiculous, but like with puppets. And so we're hiring puppeteers to come in, and then we're building puppets in part of our technical theater class. So if you're interested in making things with your hands and you want to build something and you just think that feels like a super fun, creative time to you, then join our tech theater class and you get to build puppets from scratch, your own puppets. You get to make your own Muppet-esque.
You've already named 3 things. I'm like, maybe I should take some classes.
Take it. I mean, what other time? It's amazing right now.
And that's one thing that I said in my post and getting ready for this was, it's important for actors, technicians of any kind, to build your skills now.
Yeah.
Because it's not like we're not going to be back, right? It's an excellent time to take those classes, add more skills. I can tell you that When I went to college and I took my tech theater class and the 2 design classes, I said to myself, I'm never going to need this again because I'm an actor.
Lies.
Right? Lies. And just to correlate our partnership to, look at, I forgot to turn.
You forgot the window.
I forgot the window. That's what I get.
You've got your train, I got my dog.
But in our partnership last year, here we go. Look at that.
What a soundscape, though. It's so nice.
It is. It's the real world.
Someone's coming in. What's happening? Are they coming into station?
The Wells Fargo. But in our partnership last year, I neglected to contract a designer.
Right.
Like I was like, this is great. We did it. We have Frozen. We had a designer, and you guys helped us out. And then I realized I don't have a designer, so I quickly did the crudest, most design, and I just thought to myself, if I would have just taken a class 2 years prior, 2 years.
You never know when you're going to need the skill, right?
So
sneaky like that comes up on you.
Get some skills, and some people may know Diane McBride was on Pleasanton Live last season with her husband and sang like 4 songs.
She's amazing.
She's amazing.
I know.
So I'm curious to ask you, and again, I don't send like pre-interview questions because I'm
true story.
I'm a glutton for punishment.
Freewheeling kind of guy.
That's right. I'm an improviser.
That's right.
It's cool.
You teach a whole program about this.
I'm curious as to, like, on your end, still, do you hear that stigma? And let's focus on theater, especially.
Yeah.
Because one question I get, just as someone in recreation, is, Mark, what school should I go to? Well, what's the best school for theater? And my first is always, have you been to Las Positas? Mm-hmm. But I'm wondering if you get that question.
Yeah. And
what your overall answer is, like with the especially when it comes to that stigma that we're talking about.
Yeah, we definitely get it. I mean, I first of all, Mark, this is also what I want to tell you about your design issues. I designed an entire set one time on a cocktail napkin and then handed it to my team at work at Las Positas. I was directing a show and I was like, I have this idea. This is what I want. And I sketched out a scale, but like really tiny, like 1/16 equals 10 feet, like that kind of scale on a cocktail napkin. This big, like at a bar, and was like, build this. So if it makes you feel any better, it's fine. We can build it. We can build anything.
I feel a little better, but I also know who's on your staff, so I know that they killed it.
They're so good. Yeah, they're so good. I could be like, I had a dream. So I just wanted to share the cocktail napkin. You're fine. But Mike, who is our master carpenter, for those of you who don't know, regularly will use the cocktail napkin as a reference when he gets work that is subpar. He'll go, well, it's not a cocktail napkin. And I'm like,
all right, that's enough, Mike.
Settle down. Yeah, we do get that question a lot. Or not the question, but like kind of the stigma. There's always this like, oh, you're an artistic director at a college? How cool. Where do you work? Right. And I go, Las Positas College. And then they go, oh, like they're sad.
Nice meeting you. Bye.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm always really disappointed about it. And I think that I don't think it has anything to do with the college per se. And I honestly think there is a perception of value. And I think when you make things affordable, people assume it must not be good.
Right.
If it's cheap, then the quality must be bad. And while that might be true in hamburgers, it is not true in education. And I think that's especially true in California because our community college system is one of the strongest systems in the world for education. And it was born out of California really believing and advocating for affordable university education. And that is, you see that in the 70s and 60s, that California colleges were free, right? And then we're sort of a part of that connection. And I think that's a real testament to our state and our value for education, and that we wanted to recognize that people are coming from a lot of different places and that education has to be accessible to everybody. And that means making it accessible in the communities we live in, so we don't have to leave our homes in order to go to college if that's not possible. And that's not possible for a lot of reasons for people. And So I always feel really privileged to work in a community college because it feels like a space that we really care not just about our students, but the communities that we're a part of, that we're here to make them richer by our engagement. So I always love it, but we do kind of get it. And I'm like, just because it's affordable doesn't mean we're not doing work. We're just, crafty like that. And you have to remember too, in California, we have people may not know this, but the California community colleges have articulation agreements amongst majors. And this is a state thing that happens. And so in our degree, for instance, if you come to Las Positas and you take your AA degree, your first 2 to however many years it takes you to get through, which for some people takes a while for a myriad of reasons, right? They're working part-time, they're working full-time, they have illnesses or families they have to take care of, or parents they're helping, right, manage or whatever. So they come to us with a lot of complexity sometimes. And so we have to, our associate's degree in theater, we have an articulation agreement with the CSUs and the UC system. And what that means is students who come to us and get the first kind of 2 years of their degree with us, if they then decide to go to UC Berkeley as an actor, go to UCLA, our classes go with them. And you show up at those colleges and go, I'm a junior now, because Las Positas agrees that the acting classes you take with us are as good as the acting classes you take at UCLA. We have similar or comparable curriculum. We have equally trained and professional staff with the same degrees. You're not working at a community college because you couldn't hack it somewhere else. We have the same degree as the teacher who's working at UCLA or Yale or whatever. Same one. We just chose to work in a community college because we value that student and what that message is. And I think that is really important.
I love hearing that kind of specificity of how you work together in the interest of the student. And that hasn't always been, well, it's always different everywhere you go, but it's nice. You guys aren't just working to keep people here, right? You are actually preparing your students for that next step, whatever that next step is for them.
That's right. And there are some real, and you touched on this with like the financial realities, but those are very real. And I'm very sensitive to that in the performing arts. And I think if you can come and you can spend a few years at Las Positas, and you can develop a foundation for the kind of artist you want to be, right? Because who you are at 17 when you're thinking and applying to colleges and who you are at 20, 21, those are not the same person, right? So much growth happens in that time. And
it's not a lot of time.
Is not a lot of time.
Right.
It's not, no. And I think if you can come and you can take these classes, you can develop this foundation, you can figure out who you are, what kind of theater you like. Maybe you love classic theater. Maybe you love musical theater. Maybe you realize you don't want to do performance. You like dramaturgy or directing or whatever. But you figure that out at a cost that's incredibly affordable, doesn't put you in debt. Then you can transfer to a 4-year university and get the exact degree you want. But don't sign up for a 4-year university to sort of wing it for a while. That's a terrible idea.
And wing it just because it's like, oh, I heard that, my favorite actor went to this school.
Okay, the worst.
Yeah. So what? Right. So what was their financial situation or their goal?
That's right.
Figure out what's right for you. And community college is an excellent way to figure that out. And one, stay local if you can. Save that money and really honestly go to a college like Las Positas who has a really strong focus on your future and not just, please stay with Las Positas College, right? And really want you to be your springboard for your future. Because I remember at 17, I wanted to be a veterinarian.
Yeah.
And I was serious. I was like, okay, I'm going to go apply to Boulder. I have to do this. But then when I got into my senior year, my senior year high school drama teacher encouraged me. I was like, I can do this. Yeah. I think I want to do this for a living and do what she's doing. Yeah. So it's like so nice to be. It was nice to. I myself went to Ohlone College to be able to go, oh, this is what I want to do. Right. And be able to change and talk to someone about what I want to do. Right. So what, I'll ask you. This is the worst question. Honestly, I'm going to ask it anyway. I'm going to ask it anyway.
Oh, I'm so interested.
Is there because I've seen several of the shows that you've directed at Las Positas. Which one stands out to you as like, this was just, I had mad fun. I would do it again if I could. I'm sure that's many.
Many.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say I feel privileged every day that I wake up and I go to work at Las Positas, whether that's online or whether that's in person. I have fun with my students, right? There's never, there's days that are frustrating and times that are exhausting, and I come home and I'm like, what is happening? Oh, do you hear how mad he is? He's very upset.
I know what show.
Yeah, dog, I tell you. So yeah, I am always really lucky because I do have so much fun. But I will say the last show we did, I'm grateful for. We did it right before lockdown. The last show I directed, we did it last fall, and it was Evil Dead the musical, and it was so fun and so funny. And every day I was like, I'm going to pee my pants. We need to take a 5. Like, it was just so fun every day. And I was grateful for just students who came with like a full on shenanigan mentality of just like, how can we make this day more ridiculous than yesterday's rehearsal? And it was a dream. And then to layer on top of that, all of our stage techs in the scene shop across the hallway, exploding fake blood all over the place and trying to figure out how to rocket it out of cannons and drop it from the ceiling and have it explode out of floors. Like, there was just something so funny about hearing like the enthusiasm of like, yes, like, and then like seeing blood everywhere.
That I saw that
it was
show.
Just so fun. It was really stupid fun. And a lot of my students that were in that, I am grateful to you and your program, because they had such keen and brilliant improv skills that it just kept developing a really wonderful experience with them. And that, I don't think that would have been the same without you guys. So
that was incredible. And that was one of those moments where I was sitting in the audience and I was going, this is such an excellent show.
Yeah.
That I love watching. I love being in the room for. Mm-hmm. But also, I was able to, because some of the students that were in my program graduated high school and said, hey, I'm going to go to Las Positas.
I'm so grateful.
I was able to see that growth and see, like, from the time people like Jared and Matt, to see them being creatures of impulse or in our Civic Arts Stage Company as middle school kids.
Yeah.
And to see that growth. And truth be told, may have been a bad parent move. I took my son to go and see it. It was like, he was like 10. He was like 10 or 11. He was 11 years old.
Fine.
But it was like, he saw Rock of Ages when I was in it, and I was like, if he saw Rock of Ages, he can see Evil Dead.
Yeah. It's movie magic, as my daughter used to say. I was like, that's right. It's just pretend.
That's it. And it was one of those moments where I was like, I live 10 minutes away from this theater.
Yeah.
And there's excellent theater happening in my city, in the Tri-Valley, that I don't have to go to San Francisco for, that is affordable and has excellent quality.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so nice to be there. And it's also fun to know the people involved.
Yes.
It means something completely different when you can see a quality show like that. Yeah. Know who is involved with it. Know that could be your neighbor in the show. Know that your neighbor could be the one who directed it.
Yeah.
Right. So it's I'm really proud of the stuff that you guys are doing. And really excited about it.
Thank you.
Streaming, live streaming or live.
Yeah.
You guys are really, I've seen you guys adapt well and encourage those of you that are interested that this is your path. If you're wondering if it's your path, I'm encouraging you to go to the Las Positas College website, look at the schedule of classes they have coming up in theater arts, and really go for it. Like, they're opening this up to the community, so you guys can experience this. You can just get in our community and figure things out.
Yeah. I think we spend so much time thinking about like the whole world, and like you change the world from where you sit. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to think globally to impact globally, right? If you impact locally, it's going to have a chain reaction. And I think the arts is meant to be a community experience, and I think that we really owe it to our communities to thank them.
And I've said it once, many times in our programs at the City of Pleasanton, And I'll let you guys know, some parents are always aware. They're like, when their kid says, I want to be an artist, I want to be an artist of any kind. There are still those parents that worry. They're like, oh no, no, please. But you have people, right? It's like you have people in your community, like me and Titian, that are making it happen and are forging paths and working with people so that you can make it happen. So, and from my taste, I've always said as well that a society without the arts is not a society, right? It's an expression, whether it's music, visual arts, theater, dance. We need that kind of expression, whether you are actually engaging in it or you are watching it. And sometimes you don't notice how much you engage in the arts. You take a step back and you're like, oh, he's right. Look how much I count on. So get involved. Titian's information's also here. If you have any questions for Titian in the future, email her. Space it out a little bit, okay?
No, send it all now.
Okay, good, great. That's all.
Respond tonight. No.
I was fishing. Okay, send it now. All of it.
I want to know everything. Come to me.
Great. Well, I appreciate your time. I'm really glad we had this chance to talk, and I'm looking forward to the day where we can resubmit our partnership. We can reforge it again.
Love it. Send it on a cocktail napkin.
Oh, well, we've done it. We've done it again, folks. We have reached another end to Pleasanton Live. And again, want to thank my guest, Titian Lish at Las Positas College Theater Arts. I want you guys to tune in next week. Next week, we're going to have a Bay Area favorite who's now over on the East Coast making it happen. Another artist that is actually making it happen. Go figure. Mom and Dad.
Weird. It's almost
her
like
name is.
Happened.
I know. Her name is Dawn Troop. Dawn Troop, one of my great friends. I actually went to Loney College with, who's making it happen. She's going to be singing some holiday songs and some non-holiday songs. We just love having Dawn around. Yes. So you guys take care of yourselves. Wear your mask. Knock this thing out. We're almost there. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel. You've seen it. You've watched the news. Let's keep making it happen, you guys. Take care of each other. Shelter in place. Take some classes. Get better at what you want to get better at, especially if it's theater, if the arts. Do that. Cool. We'll see you next week, everyone. Take care. Thanks again, Titian. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.